All right. All right, good evening. This is the July 16th, 2025 Cottage Grove City Council meeting, which I'm calling to order. Before we move any further, I'll just mention that this meeting is being recorded by True Lens Community Media. You can view city meetings live and replay them on cable channel 799. And meetings are also streamed live and then archived on the City of Cottage Grove's YouTube channel. So I just want to mention that for the public. The next item, other than calling to order, is the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, will the clerk please do the roll?
Councilmember Clausen.
Here.
Councilmember Olson.
Here.
Councilmember Thiede.
Here.
Councilmember Garza.
Here.
Mayor Bailey.
Here. Next on our agenda is open forum. This is the opportunity for anybody that wants to speak on something that's not on tonight's agenda is able to do that. We do ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. And I should also mention that council will not comment on those items. We do take them under advisement, and then our staff actually will respond to you that way. We did have a sign-up sheet out in the entryway, and we did have 3 people that did sign up. And so I'm just going to go down from top to bottom on the list. And then if you would, just go up to the podium over here, state your name and address for the record, and then you can share with us. So we'll start out with Peggy, who, is it Nelson? There you go, 7490, I think it's Hinton Park Avenue South.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, you go ahead and do it then, it's probably better than me.
Okay. My name is Peggy Nelson. I live at 7490 Hinton Park Avenue South, Cottage Grove. All right. My question actually is for the police chief, Pete Kerner. And my question is, sir, do you know if ICE agents are in Washington County or in Cottage Grove at this moment, not training at your Hero building?
Peggy, actually our Director of Public Safety wouldn't necessarily answer that at the moment. That's what I was just mentioning. So what will happen is if you want to ask questions like you're doing, our staff's going to take the information down and we will get back in touch with you versus having a back and forth with the audience. So if you have more questions, though, you can ask. Because this is all being taped anyway, so we'll know it.
Okay. My other question is about the Hero building. And I know that we have ICE agents that train in there, as well as other federal agents that do that. I'm hoping that as a group from All Saints Lutheran Church, that we can try and stop that. It's just a suggestion. I'm hoping that there is some legal path to doing this. Thank you very much for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
Adios.
Thank you. All right, the next one on the list here is Ruth Jones. And I won't read your address since you're going to say it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ruth Jones, and I live at 8180 Gennaro Ave South here in Cottage Grove. The first thing I would like to say is I appreciate public servants very much. Thank all of you so much for what you do for our town. And we moved to Cottage Grove in January of 2021, right during the pandemic, from La Crosse, Wisconsin, of all places. And I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, and I love it here. The longer we're here, the more I like it. It's a great little town. It feels like a little town, you know? It feels a little bit rural. I love it. So it's a great place, and that's a lot due to you guys, so I appreciate you. But the one thing that concerns me is the lack of local media. So I was at a protest at the Capitol, and people came up to us because they saw on our shirts that were from Cottage Grove, and they said, "Did you know ICE is training at your Hero Center? They have a $270,000 contract." And we all looked at each other and said, "No, we didn't know this, so then we started investigating. Apparently, even though we pay for the Hero Center, I looked at, and I think it got built right before I moved to town. And it passed like a big ballot measure. We don't want a community center, but we want a Hero Center. I guess, I mean, I was really disappointed we didn't get the community center. Anyway, it was a passed on ballot measure, and it's funded by taxpayer dollars. We apparently have no say over its use. I admire law enforcement. I think it looks like a wonderful center from what I saw online. I mean, it's state of the art. People are coming from other places. Something to be proud of. However, I am not happy about ICE being in it. And I just wanted to express that. And I'm just going to use my voice because I feel like it's important as a citizen to speak up and register my voice. And also, what can we do about not having a newspaper or local radio station? So, so we know this thing. So if someone comes up to me and says, did you know? We'd be like, yeah, we know, we're concerned. Not like, huh? What? Are you kidding me? So that's a problem. And then I read your thing you send out every month. Like, oh, I'm so glad you send that. Like, I really do. I read it from cover to cover. I learn a lot from it. There's nothing in there about ICE training in the Herald Center. So anyway, that's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So the third person that I just realized that signed up is actually Dresley, but do you want to do it now, or do you want us when we pull it for separate comment? What? Okay, so it's on our consent agenda, council, so we'll wait on that one. And I'll pull it just for discussion. Is there anybody else? That was it that was signed up. Is there anybody else that wants to speak on open forum at this point? Anybody at all? Okay, I will go ahead and close open forum at this point, and we'll move to the next item on our agenda, which is adoption of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
All right, so I have a motion by Councilmember Garza. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Clausen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is 6 is presentations. We actually have 4 of them this evening. The first one is the 2025 Green Garden Award presentation, and our director, Parks and Recreation Director, Zach Doctor, is going to at least kick this off. And do you want us down in front now?
No, we'll go through the presentation, then we'll bring you down to the
Awesome,
award.
thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It certainly is gardening season. You can see that just looking out the window here in Cottage Grove, and I hope you are able to get out and enjoy the season and all of its beauty that it brings. This year is going to be our 14th year of the Green Garden Award, where we receive nominations and then we award some of our more outstanding resident gardeners. This is a great time to introduce you to our horticulturist Cole Holmes, who I don't believe you've met yet. He oversees the planting, mulching, weeding, watering, and care for over 400 public gardens and thousands of trees in Cottage Grove. Cole will also introduce one of the two, both interns tonight. All right, they both show. I thought we were down to one. He's going to introduce you as two intern team, who's also going to help present tonight and then walk us through the Green Garden Award and talk about the awarding itself. So with that, I will turn it over to Cole and his team.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cole, the horticulturist here at the City of Cottage Grove. We're here to present the Green Garden Award for 2025. I'm here with my 2 interns, Teresa, who's currently going to Hennepin Tech, and Chris, who's currently going to the University of Minnesota. So with that, I'll let them take over.
So before we begin, I just want to thank everybody for being here. I know it's kind of crappy weather out, so I'm glad everybody can make it in and kind of get to experience this with us. So we're really excited to share the Green Garden Award this year. It was a lot of fun working with this project. We got to experience a lot of the community firsthand, see how people work, see what people are doing, and just see a lot of the effort that goes into gardening for people's private property. So yeah, with that, let's get into the categories and the criteria for the ranking. So we had 2 different categories, and that was residential and sustainability. For residential, we graded it based on appearance, plant variety, uniqueness, creativity, and the upkeep of it. And for sustainability, we graded it based on native plantings, prairie areas, and water conservation and pollinator areas.
Well, the first one is the residential garden. This is made by Barb and Karen. They created this garden this year, so it looks pretty good for just creating the whole space this year. They worked really hard to make it an enjoyable place for residents to sit down and relax. And they had a fun variety of both perennials and annuals, as you can see, with petunias and coneflowers and lavender, iris, and cosmos.
So our second nomination was Megan Zachman. And right off the bat, you can see that she just created a very peaceful and serene feeling in her backyard. The landscaping work here was really well done and really well thought out. And it just kind of makes you want to sit down and relax for a few minutes when you go back there. We really liked the water feature in the middle with the bridge. And we also really liked the plant variety, how it seemed almost natural, but like everything had a place with it. Yeah.
The next residential one is Melody. She had a really beautiful fountain, as you can see, in the middle of it. And she also had a bench along the side so that you could sit and relax, enjoy the view. You can see that she included Monarda, which is bee balm, the red flowers. Those are really good for pollinators. And she also had daylilies and phlox and a couple other things that are awesome. And then she also had really pretty arborvitaes leading down the pathway. So that was pretty unique.
All right, for our fourth one, we had Jenny Dockendorf. So Jenny's garden shows just how much can be packed into a small residential yard. She's got 3 different garden beds, all with their own purpose and their own variety. Her first one, as you can see in the top left corner, is in her front yard, and this one's just a standard floral garden, really colorful, nice selection of flowers, really nice petunias, as you guys can see. Her second one's on the bottom, it's on the side of her yard, and that one was a big pollinator garden. It's full with a lot of native plants that just attract a lot of pollinators, and she's put a lot of work into making sure she supports our local bees and other pollinators around. Finally, her third garden was her vegetable garden in the top right. She grows a lot of different varieties of vegetables here for not only herself, but she also gives back to her neighbors, and will just leave them out for people to take when they want.
This one is Jan's garden. So because she has a lot of trees in her garden, she's primarily shade, but she didn't let that limit her varieties. So she has a lot of hostas, which was really creative. She labeled, if you look closely, she labeled each individual hosta, all the different varieties. So there's Fire and Ice, Gold Standard, and Blue Umbrella, and a lot more. So she also has some coral bells and a stilbe growing. And you can see the mosaic steps leading through her garden. It's really peaceful and invites viewers into her garden. And then she also has annual pots, which is a really good addition.
All right, and for our last one, we have Stephen Rudberg. And for Stephen's garden is a great example of a sustainable garden. It's just a full wildflower garden with minimal maintenance and care. He doesn't mow it, he doesn't he trims it, but he doesn't use any insecticides or pesticides or anything like that. He just planted wildflower seeds and basically let it grow besides the path he has there. This is just a great example for pollinators. It attracts a lot of pollinators, and we were just seeing a lot of bees and other insects while we were out there. Additionally, it also has the bird feeder, which attracts a lot of other animals as well.
So our recommendation is to award Jan the winner of the Residential Green Garden Award and Stephen the winner of the Sustainability Garden Award.
Yeah, let's go down.
Jan?
Okay, sorry guys.
I was going to say, I know all the Pine Ridge Garden Club people are all here. It's amazing when I saw you over there. Thank you guys, too, for all you do, and congratulations. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely.
It's all on a hill. Gardens all on a hill.
I bet you probably were, especially with this weather.
Oh, no, this is good for the
Well,
garden.
this time, yeah, I suppose. But it was a little humid the other day. Good.
It was, you're right.
Well, just first of all, thank you to our interns, I guess is what I'd say. And we do appreciate all the efforts that you have. And we do appreciate our neighbors and obviously the Pine Ridge Garden Club. We appreciate everything you do, especially out here. I love what you guys do out in front here. I love the area down by East Point Douglas there. And I'm sure there's others out there that, I know there's others out there, but those are the two I recognize the most. So it just does a lot to beautify our community. And obviously what you're doing, even with your neighbor, in your neighborhood and such, is absolutely amazing. So thank you. All right, let's give her another round of applause. Thank you. I might need some cuts.
And we'll personally deliver Stephen's plaque to him at his house.
There you go.
But yes, this crew, they do a lot of hustling, so thanks to them for all their work, and
Yes,
the
thank you.
summer's not over, so we got work to do. It goes very fast, but yeah.
The end of August.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for doing
Thank
what
you.
you're doing.
Well done.
All
Okay.
right, Zach, you want to take us the Recreation Park Association of Award of Excellence. So
Yes.
you got
Well,
something
the
you
green-
want to share with us today?
Yeah, if the Green Garden Award was not exciting enough, I have more great news to share. We won some awards, so really cool awards. I'm going to turn it over to Nicole Greenwell from the Minnesota Recreation Park Association, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the program and our awards.
Fantastic, welcome.
All right. Thank you, Zach. And thank you, Mayor and Council. It's an honor to be here to present a Minnesota Recreation and Park Association Awards of Excellence to the City of Cottage Grove, 2 of them to be exact. The Minnesota Recreation and Park Association, MRPA, was formed in 1937 to foster the growth and development of the parks and recreation profession throughout the state. The MRPA Awards Committee was created for the purpose of acknowledging individual members and agencies for their excellence in the field of parks, recreation, and leisure services. The Awards of Excellence is an annual program of MRPA that was created to recognize agencies and their staff for exemplary projects in 7 different categories that was either implemented in or received substantial revisions in 2024. So, on behalf of the MRPA Awards Committee, it is my pleasure to present an Award of Excellence to the City of Cottage Grove for its winning park facility and program. The park facility was Glacial Valley Park Building, and the program was pickleball. So I have a little more to explain just about each of those facilities and programs. Glacial Valley Park in Cottage Grove stands out as a remarkable achievement in innovation, sustainability, and community engagement. The park building features modern technology like keyless entry and solar-powered systems, along with eco-friendly design elements, building a strong indoor-outdoor connection. With extensive community input, the park has become cohesive and an impactful recreational space. In addition to the award-winning facility, Cottage Grove also fostered a new pickleball club program that grew from a 30-member volunteer group to more than 230 engaged players in just 1 year. Also, in 2024, there were a total of 49 league teams. Then, in 2025, the program expanded to 119 teams, added youth and adult lessons, and ran a successful spring tournament with 43 teams. The program created new social connections, expanded league play, and boosted use of Glacial Valley Park, making it the city's most requested facility in 2024. With strong public support and plans for further growth in 2025, it has revitalized adult recreation in the community. The MRPA Awards Committee would also like to recognize Brad Muckenhern and Noah Rainham, who prepared the nominations for the Awards of Excellence. Thank you all for allowing me here today to present and be a part of this fantastic achievement.
Thank you. All right. Yep, let's bring everybody up here, bring the awards. Molly, aren't you coming up? Oh, geez.
We got Phil for that.
Congratulations. Thank you. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you. You must be proud. Thank you.
Everybody. Sit next to him.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys. And thank you for presenting to us. We appreciate that. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Have fun. Display them loud and proud.
I'll just say, Zach, that's, a testament, and I'll say to the council too, with our staff, the fact that we got the awards, it's, talk about collaboration between the council, Parks and Rec, the Parks and Rec Commission, all of our staff. I mean, that park is absolutely gorgeous, and obviously it's being recognized that way. So kudos to you guys for putting it all together, and for those guys for the programming, so.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll move to, first, Proclamation, that's why Zach's still there, and it's the Park and Recreation Month. And he's just got the emblem up on the screen for people to see, but I've asked Councilmember Olson to please read this proclamation, then I'll look for motion in a second to accept. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. As you mentioned, this proclamation is proclaiming the month of July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month, and it reads as follows. Whereas parks and recreation are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including here in Cottage Grove, and whereas parks and recreation promote time spent in nature, which positively impacts health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, and whereas parks and recreation encourage physical activities by providing space for popular sports, hiking trails, biking, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas park and recreation programming and education activities such as out-of-school time programming, youth sports, and environmental education are critical to childhood development. And whereas parks and recreation are fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas parks and recreation are essential, adaptable, and make our communities resilient in the face of natural disasters and climate change. Now therefore, the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottage Grove, County of Washington, State of Minnesota, hereby proclaim the month of July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month. Passed this 16th day of July 2025 and signed by Myron Bailey, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Olson. Would you
Thank
like
you.
to make the motion to accept this proclamation?
Thank you, Mayor. I will move that we accept this proclamation proclaiming the month of July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month, and I will also add that we have the very best Parks Department in the state. No questions asked.
Yep, no questions. All right, I got a motion by Councilmember Olson. Do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Thiede. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Zach. And the final proclamation this evening is Night to Unite. And I did ask Councilmember Thiede to speak on that one. Or you have anything you want to add, or?
Well, I have like 20 slides, Mayor.
Go ahead. No, that's fine, and then he'll
All
do the
right.
proclamation. I just want to make sure we didn't lose you there.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a couple moments on Honorable Mayor and Council, just highlighting again our Night to Unite Obviously, all of you have participated for many, many years. It's a great event, but I just want to highlight some of the things that we're doing. It's very similar, and I can't take credit for any of this, other than every year, the mayor and I, we go out and hit parties, and we know which ones have the great food and everything, and I know each council member kind of has their favorite neighborhoods as well, so. But it really is about joining communities, building trust. It's part of our community engagement efforts, and we've been doing this since it was night to night. We met down, or National Night Out, but down at Woodridge Park, so it gets bigger and bigger every year. I've asked council to quit encouraging people to sign up, because we hit our limits. You know, years ago, we were at 20, and, you know, we hit upwards of 50, and that's perfect for our staff, so you don't have to go and encourage more, but we do need the people to still sign up. It isn't just a police event. Really, Cottage Grove is taking it to a next level. You know, it's our public safety, it's police, fire, and we also have our elected officials, city staff comes out, and our public safety board does additional things. I know people think it's pretty cool when the mayor comes to the party, but as soon as a fire truck gets there, they push him out of the way. And I know as council members, you get a lot of questions about what businesses, what's coming in, and it's just really good conversation. We also have been doing for many years the noon outs. Cottage Grove Public Safety elected officials, we do three different, we do White Pines, the Legends, and Norris Square, Pres Homes. We have three different events, and we're gonna do those again this year. Each year they do something a little different. But if you come down to Norris Square and they do some polka bands and stuff, Councilmember Thede, he's got it down when he dances there, so. But
Good old two-step.
yeah, and we are still participating in two of our campaigns. We're doing the Fill the Bag campaign, and everything that we pick up, we go out the next day, you know, toiletries, things like that, paper towel, toilet paper, and we bring it down to the Friends in Need food shelf. That's just an example from last year. We end up, you know, usually getting a couple pallets full, so it's a really good donation that people participate in. And we also do the Fill the Bag, or Fill the Backpack campaign. The Public Safety Board, for any of the neighborhoods that want to participate, they donate a backpack, and we encourage people to fill it. They don't just fill this backpack, they give us boxes of school supplies, and that also goes to the Friends in Need food shelf. And we have partners also with the Parks Department, and this is the picture they used last year. I haven't seen the new one yet, but it'll be posted here soon. And the winner, they get the outdoor family fun package with the sidewalk chalk, water, balloons, sports balls, s'mores, supplies, and more. So Molly and her team are very generous and participate with us. Finally, how do you sign up? If you go to the city's webpage and just type in Night to Unite, it will bring you right to the link. And we would like people to register by Tuesday, July 29th. That guarantees that you'll get a stop by police and fire. Afterwards, our list gets pretty long, and it's harder. So those that get to us by that date, you know, we'll make sure to hit that. So, and our webpage also has a lot of additional ideas. With that, I'll turn it over to the mayor and council for the proclamation then.
All right, so I did, like I mentioned earlier, thank you, Pete. Dave Thede, or Councilmember Thede, I apologize, is going to read the proclamation.
All right. Whereas the Minnesota Crime Prevention Association, along with the AAA of Minnesota, Iowa, and local law enforcement agencies, are sponsoring a statewide program called Night to Unite on August 5th, 2025. And whereas Night to Unite is designed to get to know one another in your neighborhood, build neighborhood involvement by bringing police and communities together, and to bring an awareness of crime prevention and local law enforcement efforts. And whereas Night to Unite supports the idea that crime prevention and community engagement is an inexpensive, effective tool in strengthening police and community partnerships. And whereas Night to Unite provides opportunities to celebrate the ongoing work of law enforcement and neighborhoods in Cottage Grove by working together to fight crime and victimization and increase public safety for all citizens. And whereas the citizens of Cottage Grove play an important role in assisting the Cottage Grove Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts. Now therefore, I, Mayor Myron Bailey, do hereby call upon all citizens in Cottage Grove to participate in Night to Unite on August 5th, 2025. Further, let it be resolved that I, Mayor Bailey, and City Council of the City of Cottage Grove, County of Washington, State of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, Night to Unite in Cottage Grove, and I would like to move this proclamation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Councilmember Thiede. So you made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, seconded by Councilmember Garza. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And yeah, it's always a fun time for all of us out on Night to Unite, that whole day for that matter. So, all right. Next on our agenda this evening is consent, which is number 7. Is there anything council would like to pull on consent? Nothing? I'm going to pull, just so you know, I'm going to pull X, only because the applicant is in the audience here and would like to speak to it. And I did ask, I'll get you here a sec, and I did ask our staff to be able to talk through this, which is regarding an accessory structure conditional use permit. And then Councilmember Olson, did you have something?
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to pull item G, which is the 2025 donations, but I'm going to need some help because I don't have a device with the donations listed. So if I could borrow yours, that would be
Yep,
wonderful.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second here.
No problem.
I can give him mine too.
Just have to page to it.
Well, if Councilmember Thiede would like to, oh, you have it right here. Thank you so much. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Again, item G is an item from staff recommending that we accept our second quarter 2025 donations. And it's always good for us to be able to acknowledge these publicly and thank the individuals who made these donations. So as follows, for the second quarter, we'd like to thank Tennis Sanitation for a $5,000 tennis, or excuse me, 4th of July fireworks Freedom Weekend sponsorship. North Point for a 4th of July fireworks Freedom Weekend sponsorship. 3M for a $5,000 4th of July Freedom Weekend fireworks sponsorship. Hy-Vee for a $5,000 4th of July Freedom Weekend fireworks sponsorship. We'd also like to thank Van Meter for a $1,000 sponsorship for the 4th of July Freedom Weekend fireworks. We received a $1,000 donation as well for those fireworks directly to the Lions Club from formerly known as Northwoods Barbecue, but now it's called Whiskey Creek. So we want to thank Matt Miller and his family for that. Jane Chatterton made a memorial bench donation of $2,500, and the Cottage Grove Athletic Association also made a $2,500 donation for a memorial bench. So thank you to everybody who gave generously to the city for all of these various events and donations. And I'll tell you, as somebody who has participated in some memorial bench donations myself, they turn out really, really nice. So I'm glad to see we had a couple of those. And with that, Mayor, I'll turn it back to you, and I'll give you your device back. How's that? Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Councilmember Rose, for recognizing all of those great donations. So, all right, the next item that I did pull off consent was an accessory structure, which was a conditional use permit and variance. And I'll have Emily start us off, and then the applicant would like to speak to the council before we vote on this item. So, Emily?
Mayor, Council, good evening. This next item is kind of threefold, so I'll work through each of the requests just a little bit separately. But a conditional use permit for an accessory structure. Our code allows for a total square footage on residential lots. This particular proposal is proposing to go above and beyond that total square footage, so a conditional use permit is required. First, two variance requests. One variance to put that accessory structure in front of the principal structure, which our standard in our code requires it to be behind the principal structure. And the second variance request is for the exterior material, which is proposed as metal, when our code has some additional specifics that I'll get into just a little bit later in the presentation. But this particular parcel is located on Hadley Avenue, just adjacent to the Eastbrook development, if you're familiar. It is a little bit of a larger parcel at 4 acres. The house on the site was built in 1994, and then an accessory structure, accessory building that you can see outlined on the screen was constructed in 1997. Under those code standards, that accessory building was constructed to match the principal structure, which is a stucco material. The property is zoned R2, which are those sometimes larger lots that are nestled in those developing areas with those smaller lots. So we recognize that in our zoning code. It is guided as low density. As we look at areas in our community, this is one of those where we do see that redevelopment potential, right? It's a growing area, and we know that some of these areas are ripe for that redevelopment potential with those smaller lots. So as I mentioned, 3 requests. The first is the conditional use permit. 2,000 square feet is the total accessory square footage that is permitted on a residential lot in the R2 zoning district. This particular request would put that total square footage at, I believe it's 2,340 total square feet on the site with this additional accessory building, which is 340 square feet over that 2,000 total. A conditional use permit is an option within our zoning code for parcels in the residential zoning district to support that additional square footage, as long as they are meeting some additional setbacks, which this particular request is doing. The first variance request, as I had indicated, is to build that accessory structure in front of the principal structure or the home. Obviously, as you can see, in 1997, they did something very similar, and here's why. The elevations, kind of on the north side of the lot, are a little bit tricky to get a drive aisle behind there. And then on the south side of the principal structure, you can see in that yellow circle, that's where their septic system is located, which again, cannot drive over, so access to that backyard to an accessory structure would certainly be what we would consider a practical difficulty. Something that exists that isn't necessarily the fault of the property owner, but does limit or create a hardship for them to meet the minimum standards. The third part to this request is a second variance. The applicant is requesting to use metal on the exterior of this accessory structure. Our current code requires structures, principal and accessory, in residential districts to be comprised of wood, brick, lap siding, vinyl, materials of that sort. It does not specifically indicate metal. This code was amended in 2012 to be specific to the materials that we would allow for on structures in residential districts. They do have to complement the principal structure as well. The intent is, of course, to create that uniformity and that consistency within our residential neighborhoods within the community. The applicant did provide a handful of images that I did want to make sure that I shared with you. This particular image is the type of building that the applicant is proposing. It does not necessarily exist in Cottage Grove, but wanted to share. This second building, these next couple of slides are a couple of buildings that exist within the community. And so I just wanted to share just a little bit of the history. So this particular building, it did exist, and we issued a building permit to take the building down and rebuild. It's what we consider to be a legal nonconformity. It didn't align with our standards, but they were not expanding it, so they could construct it back exactly as it was. This particular building, I believe the building permit was issued in I have my notes here, let me make sure, 1997. Again, that was prior to the 2012 zoning code that created that clarity for the material. This particular building permit was issued in 1999, again, prior to that 2012 clarification in our zoning code for the specific materials permitted. And then these 3 images you may be familiar with. These are our temporary water treatment buildings that are just that, temporary, and we work through a variance process to ensure, I'm going to say perhaps in this emergency situation, that we were able to get these buildings up and that they would be removed once those permanent structures or temporary treatment plants were constructed. So with that, I will leave the 2 recommendations before you. Mayor, as you indicated, the applicant is in the audience, and of course, staff is available for questions.
Yeah, and Emily, just for my clarity, I know it's in our packet, but for the public, it did go through the planning commission, and the planning commission approved the conditional use permit, but they denied the variance as it relates to the materials, is that
Yes.
correct?
Mayor, Council, the Planning Commission recommended 7-0 to approve the conditional use permit, the variance to allow for the structure to be constructed in front of the principal structure, but did recommend denial of the variance for the material.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you. Was there any questions, by the way, for Emily at this point? No? Would the applicant like to come and speak? Just, again, state your name and address for the record, share with us your thoughts.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Al Dressley. I live at 6255 Hadley Avenue. That's being discussed, other words, known as the West Draw. So I'm sure, you know, a few members up there I've recognized from the past. I lived at this location with my family since 1994, and I've seen a lot of changes. And some of the changes that I've seen were different zonings, different setbacks for housing all around me. I live on a lot, as it was mentioned, it's a little over 4 acres. What I'm proposing, I've met all the setbacks, side setbacks, everything that the city has requested, but I'm looking at material that is metal. And some of the things that have changed in 2012, as it was mentioned, the definition of the metal, or using the materials, changed to metal. I lived there since 1994, so I'd be hoping that I'd be grandfathered in of some sort. One of the other buildings that were showing up here that was done in 1997, that's my neighbor. I've got letters from my neighbors stating that, you know, it's fine, I'm not doing anything to harm any of the environment, which the Planning Commission also said everything looked great, except their one checkbox, and that's metal. I think that's what's concerning is the metal is the up-and-coming thing that's being used. I mean, we see these barnuminiums, I think they're called. We have steel roofs. It's not the old sheds that you'd see on the old farm fields or anything like that. Another thing I wanted to bring attention to, this personal storage unit that I'm building, you can't see it. It can't be seen by the road, just as my neighbors can't see it. So when I asked my neighbors, he said, well, you can't see mine, I'm gonna be seeing yours, and they're gonna butt up right next to each other. I asked my neighbor to the left of me, I asked my neighbor to the right of me and across the street, and everybody's okayed it, and you should have those letters that are in there. Some of the buildings that I also took pictures of, the city-owned buildings, one of them is at 87th Street, that's right in the middle of a neighborhood. It's on a corner, there's houses all around it. Now, I know it's, that you said it was something that was temporary, but I mean, to have that building there, and then when I'm requesting something no one's gonna ever see, I just would hope that the council would look at something like that. And I guess the biggest thing is that when I moved in 1994, you know, you move to some acreage lots, so you can do some of these things. I didn't get a letter about the 2012 variance change or the definitions change. Not saying that I would have built one at that time, I'm not saying that, but I didn't get that letter. Now, when I did my application, which also I wanted to thank Sam and Max, the planners, they were excellent and helped me with all the paperwork. I really thought that this was gonna be something that was gonna be not a problem because all the metal buildings around my neighborhood. I know that there's gonna be development in the years around that area, but it's not gonna be by my house because I've got neighbors that got 4 acres, side of me, across from me, behind me. So it's something that, again, that I can't stress enough, that's not gonna be seen, and it's not gonna hinder anybody's visual or anything in the neighborhood or the look of the neighborhood. It's still rural, you still have the rolling hills, everything's there. So I'm asking, again, for the variance of the metal. The other question real quick that I had, if it's metal that is so concerning that someone doesn't want to put up, and as you saw the pictures up there, I've got the wainscoting, I've got windows, I've got the overhangs, the gutters, everything that's gonna look. What would be the difference if I just built that and put wood on it? I mean, put paneling on it. I mean, that would look awful. And now I'm trying to abide by looking at, you know, again, wainscoting, nice looking barn, but I'm just curious what that would be. I know you can't answer that right now, but just a thought that I could go out and put plywood all around it, because that's basically what the definition said. It's got to be by wood. So I know these buildings look a lot nicer, so I want to thank you for your time tonight. Any questions?
Council, any questions? Councilmember Garza.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a couple of questions because I do agree. I see a lot of, there's a lot more pole barns and a lot more metal barns that you do see in a lot of different neighborhoods. And the durability of them are a lot different than what they were maybe 20 years ago. So my question to you, one, would you be having it professionally installed? And then what is the longevity of that, that unit that you're putting up?
Good question, and it's in the packet. The longevity is 100 years on the metal. Also with the metal, your other question was, I'm sorry, it is the...
Would it be installed, would you?
Yes, professionally installed. It's by Jensen Builders in Wisconsin. I've got 3 or 4 different bids. They're the largest builder in the state of Wisconsin. They will be doing that. I'm having it concrete flooring, insulated, heated, everything you would see in a regular house or, another garage, to say. So everything would be just the same as you were, 100 years, as I mentioned. Another thing that they always say is, if you had wood out there, I mean, I'm in a rural area with all the woods. I mean, you're apt to get, if there was ever a fire, that's gonna, go up a lot quicker than anything with the metal, and that's gonna last for 100 years. So,
Another question thank you for that.
Mhm.
What is the exterior appearance over time? Like, is it expected to start rusting? What is that?
no, and what that is because they powder coat this metal, so it's got a heavier coating on it. They give a 10-year it's a 10-year warranty on the metal as it sits if something was to crack or anything like that. But no, I haven't seen any, and you saw some of the ones, well, my neighbor's is 1997. And there's no rust, there's nothing on it. And then we've got some that were in that pictures were 2001, so there's nothing there. I did want to bring up, though, I did go get bids on wooden barns. It's 3 times as much. So I know, there's the saying that you can't look at a hardship or anything like that, but for common sense, 3 times as much on every 2 or 3 different builders I went to. And those were the wood ones. And again, they're not as strong as the metal ones. So.
Okay. Council, any other questions at this point for the applicant? I will just for your awareness too, on a couple things, and maybe one question a little bit for our staff. First of all, in the buildings that you're talking about, like I think you said 87th or whatever?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah, just so you know that those 3 buildings that you did, we did those as a declarated emergency.
Okay.
When the water treatment, we had to put a quick water treatment in, and they will be taken down.
Okay.
They were temporary, because even some of them aren't on, the one isn't even on property we own. It's on somebody else's property. They loaned it to us while we did that. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. And then from a staff's perspective, I know we haven't seen it at the council yet, but I saw Planning Commission. Is the lots behind him part of the next developer?
No. The current plan that as of right now is not behind me. It's to the 65th. I'm on Hadley, so it's on the 65th going east, and that's where it goes in. You will not be able to see it from my area.
Okay,
And that's
why.
the proposed one right now.
Yeah, that's why I was just checking from our staff standpoint.
Yep.
Because I know there's a planned possible development over there. Is that still the case, and how far does it come over? Can you share?
Yep. Excuse me.
Mayor, Council, so the developer that is in process of evaluating, as you can see on the screen, to the east is the assemblage. We've been calling it off of 65th Street that they're working on. However, our understanding is they are in conversations with other folks that may be on Hadley Avenue as well. Again, very preliminary conceptual, but there is the potential for that redevelopment in the area.
But my question though is, the one that I think was tabled at the Planning Commission, is that the 7200, 7248? That's what I thought, okay. So I didn't know if you knew that.
I was at the meetings.
Okay.
And also, as she mentioned, the Hadley Avenue, those are 3 brand-new houses. I don't see anybody gonna, and when my neighbor's saying, yeah, we don't, I think he would say, I might sell my land, both sides and across from me, and those are 3 brand-new houses right there, all redone. So, just
Okay.
FYI.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, Councilmember Olson?
Yeah, I have a question for staff. And I'm going to aim this one at Corey, and she can punt if she wants to. So the Planning Commission conversation, which I was able to observe since I'm the liaison to the Planning Commission, really focused on the fact that there are specific legal requirements to grant a variance. And I wondered if you might take a moment and just remind us again of what those requirements are and how they may be applied, and maybe, is there any flexibility, is there wiggle room or not, in a situation such as this?
Your Honor, members of the council, you've attended some of my trainings
Yeah,
before.
I know how you feel.
And you know I have this mantra that I like to use with variances, and the first thing I like to say is a variance is permission to give your teenager the right to stay out past curfew. Right? You're giving them permission to break the rules. We have rules, and we have rules for a reason. We set these zoning standards in place. We even redid the zoning ordinance not that long ago, and we upheld this particular provision in the code. So it's not that it's just been on the books since 2012. It was relooked at within the last 5 years exhaustively by the Planning Commission and the council. So having said that, what is the test for a variance? You can't grant a variance unless it meets the test. And the test is, first, we'll be putting the property to a reasonable use. I think we can all say yes. A garage or a storage building for a residential property, certainly, reasonable use. Are the conditions unique to the property? No. I can't fathom a reason why it is unique to this property that he can't comply with the code. Just doesn't want to. Will it alter the essential character of the locality? The intent of the code is to make consistent buildings throughout your residential neighborhoods. So yes, it is true, there are some grandfathered in buildings. I don't know how proximity-wise, he says his neighbor has one, that is true. Otherwise, everybody's complying with the code. They have had to since 2012. So it will alter the essential character of the locality. So is there flexibility? The council can do whatever you want, but I like to warn planning commissions and councils that once you grant a variance for something that doesn't meet the test, you have changed your standard. And so you may as well change your rule.
Set a precedent.
You may as well change your rule.
Right. Okay. And the reason I asked for the explanation is, in circumstances such as this, at least from my chair, the common sense piece of this, for 99.5% of it is, why not? Makes sense. But with respect to the legal ramifications of granting a variance without meeting those various requirements, we then become, I believe the terminology is arbitrary and capricious, where we're giving a benefit to one that we haven't given to all. And as you said earlier, then we might as well change our rules. And so, at least from my point of view, based on what I know to be true about the legal elements of, granting variances, et cetera, having done this for a little while, I think the Planning Commission was correct in their recommendation. That's not to say that maybe we don't need to have another conversation, another point about this particular element of our city code because of some of the things that the applicant stated very eloquently. These metal buildings have changed. There's evolution in standards and construction, and that's probably a conversation worth having, but that conversation won't happen tonight. So at this point, I think, the wise choice and frankly, the only choice based on our responsibility as council members to follow the law to the letter without being arbitrary and capricious is to adopt both resolutions. And I'm not sure if there are other questions or.
I'll let the council say it on this one, and then go ahead, Councilmember Thede, and then I'll comment.
I guess I probably have to agree with Councilmember Olson in this one. My logic would tend to say, well, because I was kind of looking at it and I was kind of looking at where the trees are and, you know, I kind of looked at the angle down the driveway and things like that. And even if houses are put to the east, you know, you probably may not see it, but, you know, again, we do have to be careful about the precedents we set, and while it may be something that we should take a look at, it's probably, like you say, it's not gonna happen tonight. And so, as much as you're gonna be disappointed, you know, I'd probably have to kind of go along with the planning commission also, considering the different situations and the conditions and the legal aspects. And
Okay. Any other council comments? Okay. Since there wasn't, we didn't pull it for a separate vote.
Right.
And so to allow the applicant to speak and staff to make sure that we had all the details that we needed. So at this point.
Move consent.
All right, so I have a motion by Councilmember Olson to move consent. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Clausen. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And Corey, thanks again for, you know, the reminder. We need that every once in a while, so much appreciated. And as I said earlier, I think it would make some sense to have some dialogue about this element of the code, so if the applicant wanted to wait and see what the outcome of that dialogue looks like, maybe that's an option, but definitely had to make the decision we had to make based on the law as it stands today. So thank you again.
Okay. All right, next on our agenda is 8 is approved disbursement. 8A is to pay the bills.
Move the bills.
We have a motion by Councilmember Olson. Do I have a second?
No second.
Second by Councilmember Garza. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9 is public hearings. There are none this evening. 10 is bid awards. There are none this evening. 11 is regular agenda. There's nothing else on the regular agenda this evening. We're now to council comments or requests, and I'll do my normal and start with Councilmember Clausen.
Thank you, Mayor. We're in the process of a very large pavement management project and a very large public works project. I'm told it's the biggest one the city has ever done. And they all seem to be going well so far. Councilmember Thiede and I live right in the heart of one of the major projects, and no one's been banging on my door complaining. I understand there's been some minor inconveniences with the weather and some locating, but otherwise the projects are moving together well this year. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Councilmember Olson?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things here. First of all, just a overarching thank you to our amazing city staff who once again contributed a tremendous amount of time, energy, and effort with this year's Cottage Grove Strawberry Festival. We all prayed that we didn't have rain, and we got what we prayed for, but it was about 1,000 degrees outside. Tell you what, working the Lions tent and working the grill was not a pleasant experience in that weather, but at the end of the day, the public came out and had a great time. The Strawberry Fest committee did a marvelous job of putting together some tremendous bands and different events. I thought the drone show that took place was just amazing, and there was so much positive feedback about that. But, you know, none of this happens without city staff. None of it happens. We had people there from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. We had people there from, you know, general government staff, obviously a ton of public safety personnel, public works and parks personnel. And, you know, they're the ones who keep that whole thing going. So I just want to say again, thank you. I know that in many cases, you know, they're working the weekend and it's not necessarily what they're used to, but they all did really well. And I would say the same about those who helped us out with our fireworks show this year for the 4th of July Freedom Weekend. Talked about the sponsors earlier, but again, Kingston Park was packed. Mary, you were there, you saw it. It was a very successful event for our Cottage Grove Lions. I can tell you that to be sure. We didn't run out of food this year, which was good because we bought a lot more, but we served a lot of people. And public safety and parks and all the rest of the city staff that were present really helped us make that event go off without a hitch, so thank you. I also wanted to mention that August 1st this year is the first annual Hometown Heroes Golf Tournament, which is being put on by your Mississippi River Valley Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Network team here in town in partnership with the Cottage Grove VFW and the Cottage Grove Lions Club. This used to be the Public Safety Board tournament. They decided they wanted to focus their energies on some other fundraising efforts, and so we were happy to pick that up as a Mississippi River Valley Beyond the Yellow Ribbon team. We still have a spot available for 8 teams, otherwise we're gonna be packed out. We're gonna have 144 players. The event starts at River Oaks at 8 a.m. on August the 1st, and then the after party, as it were, is at the VFW, where we'll have some raffles and do some different things. All of these funds go to support military families, veterans in the community, and our public safety personnel. So please join us if you can. If you need more information on that, you can certainly reach out to me or anyone on our Mississippi River Valley Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Network team or anybody in our Cottage Grove Lions Club, and we'd be happy to direct you. But looks like it's gonna be a phenomenal event. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Mississippi River Valley Beyond the Yellow Network team is also doing a first annual, it's called a Walk, Run, Ruck event, which is again intended to raise funds for military veterans and families, and that will take place at Kingston Park the morning of the Food Truck Festival. So that's Saturday, September the 13th. The start time is going to be 9 o'clock. I have not participated in one of these before. This will be my first one, but it sounds to me like it's a pretty popular thing with military folks because not only can they run either a 5K or a 10K or walk, which I'll be doing, the 5K or the 10K, but they can also ruck it. And by that, they carry their rucksacks on their back, just as they would in basic training or a military event. We have several members of our Cottage Grove Lions who are going to participate, so we'll be sponsoring them specifically. But for more information, you can check out our Mississippi River Valley Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Network Facebook page, or again, you can reach out to me, and I'd be happy to give you information on the event. But registration's open now. So you'll have the opportunity to walk, run, ruck alongside, you know, all the folks that are going to be there trying to raise money for military families and veterans. It'll be a ton of fun. And with that, Mayor, I'm going to turn it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Thiede.
All right, so as Councilmember Olson kind of alluded to with Strawberry Fest, and while we had a good festival, we definitely had a lot of people there. More people were there in the evenings and than necessarily in the middle of the day in the afternoon. You know, some of our marketplace people weren't all that happy because you know, it was a little bit light on people through their shops and so forth out there, their booths. But it all in all, it was good. We did get very good response back from on the drone show, and so we had our review meeting the other night, and we're probably going to do the drone show again next year and see what kind of new things we can have with that and such. And we definitely had talked about having some different new things and some new ideas and things like that. Obviously, to do more things like that, we need people to help us and volunteer and become part of the committee and such. So I would definitely encourage people to get involved. You know, a lot of the people that we have on the committee are people that have been there for years and years, and you know, so we really enjoy getting newer people on the committee, getting some newer ideas and things like that. So so definitely, if you're inclined to that a little bit, it is a fun time to get things planned and set up like that, and we always have a good event. I'll also mention another fun event is Movies with Mo, and again, I guess there's one this Friday night, so people are gonna have to watch this, this recap of the council meeting fast, so they get the information for Friday night, right? But, it's at 7 PM on Friday, July 18th, Highland Park, and it's Paddington in Peru. Let's see, that's a bear, isn't it?
It should be fun.
All right, so, I think that's all I got.
There you go. Awesome, thank you. Councilmember Garza.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, there's a few other events that I'd like to mention. I happened to run into the locally grown theater up at the Loveland Park this past week, and they were practicing getting ready for their events. They had several weekends that they're showing the Around the World in 80 Days. So coming up on July 19th through the 20th, they'll be showing that play here at City Hall at the Amphitheater. That starts at 7 PM. It looked like a lot of fun. Their costumes looked like a lot of fun. So I would encourage you all to come out and watch it. I've seen them last year, a different play, and it was an amazing play, and it's a free local play, and they accept donations, so. And our food truck festival, it is around the corner. It's already so close to September. September 13th, we have the food truck festival. It's an all-day event from 11 to 6 PM. We have more than 100 food trucks this year, is it? No. 40, more than 40. Sorry,
Wow,
okay.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they said
I'm
the
putting it out there into the world, and we will have 100 food trucks next year. No, I don't think so.
Tammy goes, oh, God, no.
That would be a lot. But there's a lot of amazing food trucks that are always there. Our people love to come out, and that food truck festival is so similar to Strawberry Fest because a lot of our community happens to come out and enjoy a lot of food and fun activities that are out there. So if you have time, come on out September 13th. Thank you, Mayor.
Awesome, sounds good. So two things real quick. One is, I did want to mention, for the first time ever, well, first of all, I should say, we've had our new Strawberry Fest ambassadors that were crowned right after the festival, which was awesome. And they've already been hard at work, by the way. They helped out at the Freedom Celebration,
They did.
Weekend
They were
Celebration.
awesome.
I don't
Really
know how
great.
many parades they've been into already, but
Quite a few.
I thought I would mention I think it's pretty amazing. We have our first king that was crowned in Cottage Grove, so we now have a male person up in the front, on the float. So I thought that was kind of cool for the first time. So it's been one thing. I know that the group was really trying to get more, I'll call it literal diversity, male, female, and all that, and I think they've done a great job of making that happen. So just thank you to them, and I'm sure you'll be seeing them around in future events around Cottage Grove and surrounding communities. And then lastly, just as a friendly reminder, because it seems like it's been so long ago, after the last city council meeting, we did do a performance review check-in with our city administrator, Jennifer Levitt. And as per the law, I'm just updating the council, or updating the community that the overall review went very well. And again, it's more of a touch base, just see how things are going from the goals and objectives that we worked together for her original performance, if you will, way back. I don't know, it was back in October, November, December, somewhere in there. But very happy with what we've, I think council is good with everything that we talked through, and thank her for continued service to our community. So with that, next item on our agenda here is a workshop, which is open to the public, which I believe will be moving to the conference room, and that is regarding emergency medical services update. There is no workshops closed to the public, so we will not be adjourning in here. So if you want to come join us in the training room, you can listen about public safety. Take care.
Training room or conference room?
I think it's training room, isn't it?